simple example. We take departments and we put them here on a matrix, and we ask every department with a short questionnaire. It's just 8-9 minutes questionnaire to score themselves. So general management here score themselves, and all departments do it. And then we ask sales to score general management, to score finance, operations, R&D, and the like. And that cross, so every department in an organization scores itself and makes these networks, or finds these networks. They should just do it with shaking hands. And when you do such, a department, imagine this is finance. The result of whatever, 10, 20 people, 30 maybe, gets feedback, that's this shape, from the other departments. And so you build up a very simple figure where you can easily see how consistent the department sees itself and how consistent it is perceived by others. What you see here is the average of these four. We also can split them department by department and sort out where these handshakes are subtly broken. Look from the top, you see this very same, but here you see the strategic diversity and the strategic positioning. For example, finance, matter attached, and past-oriented on the tangibles. That's a typical all-right position for a finance department. Take a bit broader picture of the same organization, extend it a little bit. Here you have the departments. And from ID to product, selling, sales support, service, you can imagine quickly a value chain. And that value chain somewhere starts. Maybe it starts in here, research. And that might be the beginning of a value chain here. And that goes like in an anthill, quickly. Oh, let's test whether that works, this ID. Get another part in the S-curve or the value chain, how you like to mention it. Let's test whether sales thinks it might be workable, another part in it. And quickly you can go via finance, and you'll see, like in an anthill, quickly a network starts in an organization, which becomes quite complex, step by step, building a value chain up here, all the way to service, from the ID to service. Service, sales, quality, although there are several departments for, everybody knows that these values, these important things, are not just there, they are part of an interaction. And somewhere broken, like on this red line, it might influence things completely in different spots. And so if you have, on a few spots, for whatever reason, lack of leadership in the department, lack of communication, internal problems, external problems, strategic problems, alignment problems, black holes, where energy is drained, where departments don't communicate, or have bad perceptions of each other, it simply doesn't work, you will find this energy draining. And that will have, of course, quite an effect on the value chain, because it will be broken there. There will be a hiccup in the value chain. These black holes, they show up as no consistencies in the act. So here you have the different departments, and they show, they might see themselves as high consistency, but in the interaction it goes wrong. And then suddenly you pick it up that this value chain might be broken on two spots. You might not even suspect them there, but you will find it out of the anthill of an organization. So this is one of the examples we use to get out of this self-organizing complexity and really the parts where it's broken and get back the whole system back into self-organization as good as possible. This is a view of such an attitude of a series of internal departments, IT, human resources, business development, management, team, and finance. That is how an act could and look in reality. Now, the top, the front view, showing these high levels of consistency, that reflects the change readiness. Readiness for growth, readiness for going up the S-curve, readiness for transformation. Down here, you see the top view. That is that strategic diversity. And if I start with the lower one, when they look to an IT department, this is the self-image. That's how they see themselves. This is feedback from all the other departments that have meaningful relationships with them. They score them on that, more or less, on the same spot. A bit more people-oriented, a bit more exploratory. They were very happy, I remember, with that. But this is typically an area where you see a support IT department. Operational, content-driven matter attached. They are highly consistent, as you say. So that is a very, very, I think you almost don't need anything else to know this is working very fine, this is working okay. Another department, and that's okay. Another department here, strategic positioning of human resources. In this situation, transformational, change management oriented. Strategically, okay. As a coach will say, that is on the right position. Business development, exploratory, people, achievement oriented. This is the area where we made achievement as the strongest. I would simply say, not knowing much further of the organization, that strategic position is okay. That's where you expect it. Go on, management team the same, and very importantly, finance. Typically on a position where you definitely would expect finance to be, and I'll show you later at the end, two, 3 minutes, a situation where that's on the wrong position. Now, look to the top. You might have noticed already, but there are a few situations where there was a low consistency score. And that is where I haven't shown all departments here because there is a series of sales and services departments here, but where there was from some departments measured certainly to the management team, to the business development team, and to the human resource team, perception of inconsistency, where a break of communication was. We call that hotspots, as Rick already mentioned, those situations where you rather do something, if possible, the day after already. From the same organization, got a few service and delivery departments, and this is a very simple system. This is all, basically, as I say, this is all okay. You see, high consistency. They're all in the operational field. That's where you expect them, because they deliver, they service. And depending on their clients, their processes, they might be a bit more matter. People attached, that depends. This is a very, very healthy. For me, speed is as much part of a process as the content. We have very short questionnaires. We have the data immediately when the questionnaires are done. So generally, it takes a definition. It takes a week to answer the questionnaires, or maybe shorter. It depends on the size of the organization. But the system we have developed is extremely intelligent. Do this quickly. Present, discuss the data, and where you see those hotspots, ideally, get immediately with the two departments in the dialogue and service what caused that inconsistency. We have some smart exercises and simple afternoon-sized workshops for to do it quickly, because then you have immediately this action, this dynamic of the measure translated immediately in servicing the issues. This is an example of good opportunities lost. This is a financial department. They see themselves not that bad on consistency, but they are perceived by the rest of the organization as very low in consistency. That means probably very procedural, disconnecting what they're doing and controlling from the mission and the vision of the organization. And here you see a management team, for example, which is strategically well positioned as the finance. However, they also get a very low consistency from the organization. And we know we can get exactly these pictures. This means they might think about the future, they might be very strategic, visionary, whatever, but it might be that they're disconnected in sharing that vision or trying to stop thinking about the future, but also think about how do we implement things. It might be all kinds of reasons. But interestingly enough, if this dialogue between these two departments, even if it is strategically well positioned, as I tell you here, the finance you expect it at the top of the S-curve, the management team you expect it on the bottom of the S-curve. But what's happening here, this perceived inconsistency, disconnected departments, and that means that the internal-external dialogue is simply not going well. There might be very good opportunities here not be implemented, not controlled and lost. as I said, needs quick and robust dialogue.